Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again for another week of Kenny Answers. And last week, I upset a couple of people back here with how off the wire I got. It got kind of intense, and I've been told this week to knock it down a couple of notches. So for you, and you, and you, and you, I'll do just that for this week. So, without further ado, we're getting right into it with question number 1. It's from Horror Icon, and he asks, who is your favorite rap artist besides Eminem, or musical artist if you don't listen to rap? Well, I listen to rap, otherwise I would know about Eminem. Besides Eminem, I don't really have a favorite musical artist. I can give you a couple I don't mind or kind of like. 3 Days Grace, Linkin Park, Disturbed, Fort Minor. Green Day, Green Day is a hit and miss. Either I don't mind this song or I hate it. There's no in between. Two songs I don't mind from Green Day are Boulevard of Broken Dreams and Time of Your Life. 2 songs I hate from Green Day are Holiday and what's that song called? Know Your Enemy or something like that. It goes, do you know your enemy? I hate that song. That song just drives me crazy. So, and Disturbed, I like Stricken. I like Perfect Insanity. Down with the Sickness. The Game. And you see, Disturbed's got a couple of good songs under the belt. Thank you for the question, Horror Icon. Question number 2 from BT500, and he writes, oh, that's a very good question. Are you a Mac or a PC person? Now, if you asked me this question about 3 years ago, I would have said PC right off the bat. Because I wasn't introduced to the Mac until the fall of 2008. And in the fall of 2008, I had a class on campus in my college. And it was in a computer lab. The class was Flash Animation, which by the way was a horrible waste of time. I learned quite literally nothing from that class. I'm not trying to be anti-school or anything because I hate school, but I'm not trying to be anti-school. I learned nothing. I literally learned nothing in that class whatsoever. It was just a complete waste of fucking time and money. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, so I go into the computer lab, and I sit down at the desk. And then I look at the computer, and keep in mind, I had never ever even seen a Mac at this time. I look at the computer, and it looks different to me. It doesn't have the taskbar at the bottom, and the bottom left it doesn't have the start. Instead, at the bottom is what's called the dock, but I didn't know that back then. And I saw the icons for all the programs on the bottom, and then as I scrolled the mouse over the icon expanded. And then as I moved the mouse away from it, the icon went back down again. Now, for some reason, that fascinated the living hell out of me. That just intrigued me right off the bat. I have no idea why either, but that just intrigued the hell out of me. And I just felt like it just operated better. It just looked better. It just felt better than any PC I've ever used. So I go home that night. I go to Nick. I go, hey, you know, the computers on campus. Excuse me. The computers on campus, they use a different computer than the ones we have. And he's like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, well, on the bottom, instead of the taskbar, it had the icons for the programs on the bottom. He's like, oh, that's a Mac. I'm like, a Mac? I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, Apple makes a Macintosh. I'm like, okay. So Google it, Wikipedia it, and I was hooked. My mission from that point on was to get a Mac. And lo and behold, about a year and a half later, I got the Angel. I just love seeing that half-eaten apple. Love it. This is my MacBook Pro. I got this, I think June or July, I think. I never remember the date. But I remember the actual day like it was yesterday. Nick was pissed because he got a new laptop for graduation. He had an HP Pavilion, and he was getting a Sony Vaio for his high school graduation. And then I saw a MacBook, and then I was like, you know, I'm getting that. And then I got it because I'm graduating college this year. Scary as shit. Oh man. Anyway, so I got it, and then he was like, really. He was pissed off. And then everybody was like rubbing it in, like on our way out of the store, everybody was like, "Oh, you got a Mac? Oh, I gotta give you back for that, man. I gotta give you back for that Mac." And Nick was like, "Yeah, you got a Mac, big whoop." I'm like, "Hey, I still have my Sony Vaio, right? Vaio is a fantastic computer. Vaio, I have no complaints about Vaios whatsoever. Vaio is a fantastic brand to get. Vaio is awesome. So Nick, the Vaio is fantastic, okay? But anyway, I'm a Mac person through and through. Ever since I got that MacBook, it's freaking hot. Bruce, turn down the freaking temperature, man. I wanted to have to wear this hoodie, but now I don't have to. Anyway, sometimes I think you do things just to spite me, just because you're like that. You're just like that. Yeah, flip me off it, or whatever. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, right. So, and if you think PC's better, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to have to change your opinion, but I just personally, I think that Macs just totally beat the shit out of PCs. Mac all the way for me. Question number 3 comes from HG, and he writes, "Okay, here's the question. If you get abducted by Jigsaw and in an abandoned asylum, will you move on or will you die?" I see somebody's been playing the horribly disappointing Saw video game. Well, I would go off the wire for my answer, but got a couple people upset back here that I did. So I'll just answer this as calmly as I possibly can. I would put on my game face. I would clench my fists. I would enter fight or flight mode. Then I would fight my way through this abandoned asylum, and I will make it. I would make it. Why? Because I'm tough. I'm a lot tougher than I look. This is not the face of somebody you want to mess with, right? Anyway, I would fight. I would have to give myself a fighting chance, and if I can't get out, well then, I guess can't do much. Question number 4 from DarthKiller14. "Yo, Kenny, this is for your show." This is for you, Dorothy. Dorothy. Huh? Yeah, I guess it does kind of sound like Dorothy. But I'm saying Dorothy, not Dorothy. Dorothy, not Dorothy. From Dorothy. What do you think of the Fallout series and coming up game Fallout New Vegas? Now, if Fallout is the game I'm thinking of, I don't care for it. Now, the game I'm thinking of is either it's the logo or it's something in the game. I'm thinking of, there's this cartoon boy wearing a blue shirt. He's got like blonde hair that goes like this, and he's smiling like a pedophile. If that's the game I'm thinking of, don't care for it. To be honest, I'm not really the kind of guy to ask when it comes to video games, because I don't really keep in the loop. But there's one game that I am dying to play, and that's Call of Duty Black Ops. November 9th, 2010. Cannot wait for that game. That game is gonna destroy. That game is gonna destroy this imbalanced piece of inhumane garbage. I hate this game. I tweeted this a while ago. This game is like drugs. It's addicting as hell, but holy hell is it horrible. This game is such a piece of shit. It defies logic. It's just such a piece of crap. I hate this game. I want to go on record saying I hate this game with a passion. I loathe this game. This game is a piece of crap. Actually, crap is better than that game. But anyway, yeah, I don't care for Fallout. And the final question this week, closing out this edition of the best show on the internet, aside from 1917 Productions episodes, right? They don't suck, shut up. From 6 Round Revolver. And he asks, an interesting question. What kind of comic would you make? Now this brings me back. I mean, this brings me way, way back. Back to the 90s. Early to mid-90s. When the best show ever created, Spider-Man, the animated TV series, was on the air. That show, I was addicted to that show as a kid. I loved that show so much. I could not wait for it to be on every single day. And that show spawned me making Spider-Man comics. Yeah. I would take notebooks that I hadn't used in school, little marble notebooks, and I would go to town on them. I would draw and make Spider-Man comics. Now I have no idea where they are now because they're buried under all the shit. But I would make my own stories, and I would just draw everything. As a matter of fact, I have a little drawing of how I drew Spider-Man in those comics. Get ready to see the greatest masterpiece of art and drawings that you've ever seen. You ready? Bruce, can I get a drum roll? Thanks, man. A drum roll would have been very good. Thanks a lot. Because of Bruce, let's do a drum roll, but here is my drawing of Spider-Man in my comics. It's a beauty, isn't it? Now, that's the spider. Those are his hands and his arms. No, they're not wings from chickens. They're his hands and arms, and yeah, that's Spider-Man for you. It's a work of art. It is. It's a work of art. I've seen your drawing of Spider-Man. Your drawing of Spider-Man looks like fungus. Yeah, I know that makes no sense. That's the point. Because your Spider-Man is horrible. And yeah, I would make Spider-Man comics all day. I would fill... I use maybe 4 notebooks in the span of a month. Just going to town drawing Spider-Man comics. 6th round. Thank you for that question. That question brought me way back to a time when life didn't suck. When I had no worries. Nothing I had to do for a certain date. No deadlines for anything. Self-imposed or, you know, somebody else imposed. God damn, life back then was awesome. Life now just sucks ass. Anyway, so did I keep calm enough? I went off the wire? How the hell did I go off the wire? I didn't scream or get intense. Last week I got intense. Last week I got really intense. This week I turned it down a notch, okay? I wasn't off the wire. I was completely under control, okay? You guys can't say shit about how I performed this week. I was very calm throughout. I am not toning it down any more than this. Any more than this would be like this. So this week's edition of Kenny Answers, I have 5 questions that will change the lives of... No! I'm not doing that. Fuck that. No. I'm not toning it down anymore. Whatever. We'll talk after the show, okay? See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.